information to the general public so that you can better be informed as to what's happening in our neck of the woods. You must have heard yesterday that I mentioned that GEBE, representatives from GEBE would be here with me, and I do have with me one of the persons from corporate communication. I'm talking about Paula Gordon, along with Miss Iris Arundel, who is the commercial manager. And they're both here to straighten a few things for us, because I use the word straighten simply because we've heard so many things from people who have framed maybe their own opinion or what they experienced presented to them to the point where they formulate their own opinion as to what's going on. But it's good to hear from the people themselves, who hopefully they will give us as much information as would satisfy the ear. They were on for an hour with my colleague a day ago, but I don't think you can get all the information packed into 1 hour. And with that saying, Paula is shaking her head in confirmation that indeed you just can't get it all in.
Right.
But they're doing the rounds, I believe. They're visiting other stations. So it's good to have you both.
Thank you.
Two young ladies who I'm familiar with and know very much. And I'm sure that they're going to be honest with me today when it comes to the information they'll be bringing out.
Absolutely.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi,
How you doing?
I'm fine. I want to say welcome to all the guests.
I'm accustomed to you being very upright and very straightforward.
Yes.
So when I said hi just now, I just wanted to wake you up a little bit.
She's up.
I'm very alert.
Good to have you. You must have heard all that people have to say. And I just want to know from both of you, when it comes to GEBE getting to a place, as far as my comments is concerned, I'm saying it's high time that GEBE reach to a place where they can level off once again and move forward in whatever has to be done. Where is GEBE at the moment? And what is it that we don't know? I'll start with you, Iris, that we need to know that is happening at GEBE and we're not aware of it.
So
That's a loaded question. It has so much angles to it, but I know you can handle it.
no, just like how you said that it's about time we should be at the spots where we level off. We are at that spot. So we're about 99%. I never say perfect because perfect is only for God. So we are there, and that's one of the reasons why we are making these radio tours now. Because just like everything else, even before we had this situation, not every month, sometimes people don't get a bill, sometimes people still feel uncomfortable with certain things, and they come to GEBE. And that's the point where we at now, that if you are not contented with your bill that you get, you come to GEBE and we are there to help. We have a whole customer service area, we have billing, we have collection. Everyone is there ready to serve our customers once they come with their queries.
But you know, when it comes to that part, there are those folks who have a school of thought out there that when they go, they are never helped because they are often told, well, you got to do this, you got to do that, or else.
So the system is such. We have a customer care department. They are the ones who accept the queries, but the back office who have to handle the queries. So automatically depends what you're looking for. If it's just to get a printer or a bill or receipt, the customer care can hand you that at once. But if it's something that you feel need correction, if you feel your reading is not correct, if you say, I believe my water bill is too high, we have to send into an investigation. So that have to be forwarded to the back office. The back office have to create an order which goes to the technical department, which is a next area. The guys have to go out, they have to verify if everything is okay with the meter. And once they verify that the information comes back in, it has to be updated in the system, and then it will be there that customer care can say, well, this is the situation that you're facing. So those things, is not everything can be handled a la minute. Some things do take some time. If you had issues that you find your bills are not correct, or if you need reconciliation and we need to help you, those things do take time.
Paula, why people have this negative, and I'm going to use it loosely because for everybody they interpret it differently. But whenever they're dealing with GEBE, they think that it's like pulling teeth.
I think because of what we've had happen to us over the past 3 years,
Yeah.
3, 4 years, from 2022, we had the hack. And because of that, there were certain things that, of course, people weren't, like, for instance, they weren't getting their bills. I think prior to 2022, in terms of receiving a bill, in terms of getting information, that was something that was happening on a norm. Then after the hack in 2022, like Iris said, there's certain things that we had to do in the back. So you weren't able to get that information upright right then and there. So, I mean, there are things that we know from a managerial standpoint or even from an internal standpoint that we are working on. We're working with human beings that are, we could say some of them, people can get burnt out at a certain point in time. But those are things that we're dealing with to ensure that the public gets the proper information and that the public gets the service that they require from NVGEBE.
You think there's...
Could I add
Yeah.
for further clarification? We had a hack. So everybody said GB lost information. And and when you're coming back from something like that, not everything goes well. So there are times things did not go well. So the trust have been eroded.
Okay.
And because the trust is eroded, we as GB now have to find a way to build that trust back with our clientele out there.
And that is what we're working on right now.
And that is that a hard part?
That
Because
is-
you're still
it's-
hearing people complaining.
It is a hard part because we have a lot to do. But we also need like Iris said, the trust of the public. Like, we're trying our best. We're working with people, and that is going to take some time. But there are people out there who understands the situation, and then there are people who are frustrated about the situation, and that is quite understandable. But we are doing our best internally to ensure that we fix those things and we get people to trust GB again. So Iris is going to talk about a certain number of things today, where she's going to talk about billing, she's going to talk about reading your meter, and these are things in order for you to trust us again. We need you to help us to help you. We went to another station and someone said, why do I need to read my bill? I don't want to read my bill. That's not my job. You have meter readers to read the bill. Yes, we do. But if you're coming in with a situation where you're saying, my bill is not correct, or I feel like, GB, you estimated my bill or whatever, then we're going to ask you, okay, sir or ma'am, every morning at 8 o'clock, we want you to take the reading. The next Monday, come to us and show us what your reading is. We can go into the system and we can look at that with you. If you feel as if
We're cheating you.
yeah, we're cheating you. I'm trying to use the right words from a PR standpoint. Like, we're cheating you, or it's not the right reading, then help us to help you so that we can get you to trust us again when it comes to that situation.
So you want them to take an initiative
Yes,
themselves,
yes,
so that you can regulate whether it's a leak or whatever.
Absolutely. That only helps us to help you,
Yeah.
because if you're not happy or you're not okay with what you see on a paper, then we can go ahead and do it together.
So how do you manage the frustration that is expressed by your clientele or the people who come in?
It's not easy. It has taken a toll on our workers. Many of them get sick. We get threatened.
Yes.
We get all kind of ill words towards us. It's very
And it's
normal
not,
that it
and it's not
happens.
even only the staff that are inside. Can you imagine the guys that are going outside to read a meter that is close to the property, or maybe some people still have meters, correct me if I'm wrong, inside of the property,
In the yard,
in the
yes.
yard, and they lose the dogs. There's a number of things that happen. So our staff go
is
through a lot.
rough. Situation
Yes.
is rough. We even had to call police at times. It's not easy. It does take a toll on the workers. But we are handling it.
Yes.
Nevertheless, we understand the frustration, because just like how my workers get frustration, the customers also
Yes.
frustration. So I tell them we're going to have to bear this till we get over this. And that's why we want to do it in phases. Once both of me and you can concur that your consumption is correct, we have closed one chapter there.
Yes, and we move
Then
on.
the next chapter now we can go to, let me check your payments.
Yes.
Because many people say, I paid online, but my payment is not reflected. Once you know you do something and you don't feel comfortable, you either have to send an email or you have to come to GB. Do not just stay there and sulk in yourself. We are human. We do make mistakes. We are not perfect. And we don't want to say we are perfectionists. So we do have payments that have not been applied for the simple fact that persons never put their account.
Contract.
So we don't know who to apply those payments to.
Oh,
So only if you come in and we start verifying, you come with your proof, we can say, oh, this is it.
And in GEBE, you are identified by your contract account number,
number.
not by John Doe, not by Arlene Richardson, because there's many Arlene Richardson. You are identified internally with us through your contract account number.
How important it is for you to get this message out to the people so that they can be smarter and wiser in dealing with the issues with GEBE?
We have our program that we're going to be working on for 2026, but it's very important. But let me just speak from GEBE's side for now. We have quite a job to do when it comes to educating the public, and we want them to be receptive of certain things, because some people to this day don't know how to read their bills, and that's important for you to know how to read your own bill. It is very important. So we want them to be open and receptive to the programs that are coming next year. There are going to be a number of things that is going to be happening, and the more you know, the better it is for you as a customer.
One of the last big changes that GEBE came with was last month, a month before,
October.
where we post what is your total outstanding on your bill. Oh my!
It's unfair. Listen, I can't have a program without ever hearing bad things about GEBE. So maybe you can answer some of the questions that is out there. All right, let's take a call. Do we have a call? Hello, caller. Go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Why it is that the people in meter reading 50,000 and in GEBE reading 50,000, contain 600, like people reporting, like they're minimizing it. Why the meter reading these extraordinary prices way out of proportion for ordinary citizens' houses, not business places? And it's ain't like 600 like they mentioned just now. It's prices of 4,000, 10,000, 50,000. So my question is, why the meter by the house reading 50,000 and then in GEBE system it reading 50,000? You understand? That is the question. Why is that happening? Not 600. Why is the meter doing that? Why are your system conforming that the consumption one the house matching the consumption one inside the GEBE?
Okay.
But the problem is why it is that the bill coming out so extraordinary high. Thank you.
All right. Can you answer that?
The meter reading process. We read meters. The meter readers go out with a handheld. The reading is punched in the handheld. The handheld is uploaded into our system, and the rest is automatic. There's no more human input.
So
it's not like we go in and we do things to fix anything. The reading goes in and the system said this was the last reading, this is the reading, so much is the consumption, and the bill is created.
So what can affect the numbers to change? What
numbers ain't changing.
Come.
It's a misconception he has. He will have to bring that to me, but no numbers can change.
Okay.
Or something he's not looking at right or something.
Okay. Do we have another call? Good afternoon, caller.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Moore.
Good
And
afternoon.
good afternoon to Iris and the other colleague that is there. Don't know her
Good
name.
afternoon.
Paula.
Listen, this is Emmanuel speaking. Wendell and Iris and everyone, I want to thank you guys very much for coming on today. And also the whole staff of GEBE and the workers. You guys have shown strength and resolve during this whole process with everything. My only concern that I have, though, is when Iris mentioned that one should check their consumption, and if they bring it down, then probably the bill can come down. Why must it only be from the side of the consumer? In addition to that, don't you think people are also concerned with that report that came out that was commissioned by the Carousel-based group saying that GEBE does just raise prices and just, arbitrarily just put a figure there? There's no consistency and nothing is coherent going on in GEBE. Don't you also think that contributes to how people in St.Maarten feel and the sentiment towards GEBE? I thank you very much.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you, Paula.
I can agree that with those kind of statements, yes, it can bring about that feeling. But first, let's go and really digest and see if that's really the case, yes or no. Because as I said, the only thing is the variable that changes with us monthly is the fuel clause. The base rate have been there for umpteen years now. The 25 cents have been there since Jesus was a child. And only the fuel clause based on the fuel prices and based on the formula that we calculate. But as also formula, we just enter the fuel prices and the system spits out everything. So if they feel the prices are being raised like that, I mean the report, I haven't seen the report, I don't know, but I don't totally understand, and maybe people don't understand what they're saying or how they're analyzing what they say in that report like that.
I guess the report gave a revelation of what could be the possibility.
Well, I think we from GB would like to see the report, right, Paula?
Yes, absolutely.
Because if we see the
We'd like to
report,
read
then
that
we
too.
can always say what's
So
true
you're
from what's
not privy
true.
to that report?
I haven't seen the report.
There must be questions asked within GEBE.
I have not seen that report.
Okay, all right. Do we have another call? Okay, we missed that one. Something else. Why is it, maybe this is not in your competence, but why is like places like school and schools and so on pay, they have
A special rate?
they don't have a special rate. They pay the same rate.
They pay the
everybody-
same rate as a business.
Yeah. Why is that? You don't think those institutions should have?
You see, when you're working in a company, it's not what you think.
Yeah.
It's what is determined. Something like that, as I say, higher level, government and GB will have to come to those conditions.
Yeah.
And once those conditions are met, we just execute.
Yeah.
So it will have to be determined if schools have to get a special rate, if that one have to get a special rate. But mind you, every time you establish special rate, everybody come looking for a special rate.
So what happened then when the prime minister is going to promise, let's say, that there is going to be relief? Don't they have to discuss with you first?
I guess they have to
whether
discuss
it's
with
possible?
GB. Yes, I guess
Because
it have
they're
to-
making a promise,
It have to discuss
and it's
with
blanketed
GB.
across everybody who's thinking, well, they're going to get a break
gonna
from GEBE.
Well, until such time that
They give us
some
that
kind of
information.
decision is made and that information comes to us,
yes.
everything will remain as is.
Anyway, so
And
you're
I
saying
don't- yes.
you're saying that GBE now we can't blame anything more on the hack. You are out of that now.
We are out of that now,
GB.
and that anything that persons have, please come. The only thing that's lingering from the hack is the bills that's there that people did
Outstanding
not.
bills
Yes.
that they didn't pay.
But we also made a provision. We gave you a payment plan. We supposed to go maximum 2 years. I have those who was going more than 2 years. But as I say, we always try to help our customers. So no one should remain and say, I'm not going to GB. There is always help for you in one form or the other.
What is on the top of your mind right now that you think the general public need to know, or you would ask of them to maybe meet you halfway, or you meet each other halfway, than to be out there hitting GB so hard, they're overcharging me, they're stealing me? And
Well,
what
as
do you
I
need to
said
say to them?
before, anytime you don't feel comfortable about something, either send an email to customer care at nvgebe.com or physically come in and make your query known to GB. Most of the time, sometimes it's a lack of information. Most of the time, it's things that people don't understand. But it's very few I have seen that people come with these outrageous statements and that they are correct. After we start to lay the lay of the land and show them everything, persons come to realize, and then, okay, how we can solve this now. And then we come up with a solution and we try to get.
Paula, you have sat at GB, and I'm almost sure that you have heard, because whenever these programs are on and people are saying things, you get these kind of information.
Absolutely.
What does it feel like hearing these things? And don't you think it's urgent for you to come out and maybe say something, let people know?
Yes. But remember, Paula works for a company. So as much as, like Iris said earlier, we don't go with feelings. You know, I have to go with what is happening internally. And that has happened. But like I said, we have decided to move forward. We'll be coming out more. We'll be sharing more information, going to more radio stations, and a lot of different things are going to be posted on our Facebook page. I tried earlier a little bit just to talk about the portal that's going to be launched on January 5th, our new website, because the website has been down since the hack.
Okay.
So our new website is going to be launched the end of this month, and then the portal comes in. So in the portal, you can see your consumption, you can pay bills right then and there, and
receipts.
you can get your receipt right away in the portal.
Okay.
Then you get to see all your bills that are there that are outstanding for yourself.
I'll take one final call before we wrap it up. Yes, caller, can you be quick because we're out of time?
Yeah. Good afternoon. Good program. I have one question. The contention on GEBE bills really is the fuel clause. Up to now, people are confused how it's made up, how it's built up. Look, the ship arrives here in port by GEBE with fuel, right? The fuel has a cost, right? And when it reaches the consumer with the fuel clause, I want to know how is it built up? Who all are the players and how is it derived to, let's say, 0.29 cents per kilowatt hour? How is that built up? And that is the contention that people have. People don't understand how it's put together and who all are the players that get the piece of this.
Thank you. And hence they have all kind of questions.
Okay,
That's the final call.
So
Wrap
for
it
me
up.
to be quickly on this, GEBE has its own consumption, part of the fuel clause. We have the water company who we purchase water from, part of the fuel clause. Then we have the fuel prices themselves and the lube oils. Those are the 4 areas that together make up the fuel clause. And those are the 4 areas that's in the formula that will bring us to that 29 cents or that 20 cents or that 41 cents. Based on the prices from those other things, all of them are factoring.
Yeah, can my final question, can all of that negotiate to the point where you say, listen, let's don't charge so much, so that you don't go too high for consumers to feel it? Or whatever GEBE said, that's it?
No, it's not whatever GEBE said. There's a formula. It's whatever the price that we receive from the fuel company says, that's it. Because that's the biggest factor in it.
Right. Okay. I wish, Paula, I got to leave it there. But I want to commend you for at least coming forward and giving people an opportunity to hear from your end what all these intricacies are all about. Sometimes you just need to know, because when you don't know, you form your own opinions. And you throw it out there, and it goes out there as Bible.
Yes.
And I know you don't sit down there and feel good hearing people taking a shot at your company all the time like that. We need GEBE to function properly.
We do.
But give us a break, too. All right.
Thank you,
Good
Mr.
Thank you
Moore.
for having
Good
us.
afternoon, and thank you
Thank
so
you for
very
having
much for
us.
coming in.
Yeah.
And happy holidays to everybody.
All right. Well, thank you so much. I see a little bit of light in the parking area below, so I'll take that as happy holidays. That's it for today. That's a little funny statement. Lord, lighten it
You're
up a
joking
little
this
bit.
afternoon.
That's it for today, folks. We want to thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate having you. Today being Wednesday means that I'll be back again this afternoon, so an invitation for you to join me then. In the meantime, you take care of yourself. We thank GEBE once again, and we'll see you tomorrow, God's willing. Take care.